Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. This episode is brought to you by Amplified Marketing Group. They specialize in affordable mobile solutions that will get you noticed and help you retain customers. Check them out at yourphoneguy.com. I was a hairdresser for more than 30 years and a salon owner for 10 years. And for the last 14 years, I've had the honor of providing complimentary makeovers to women battling cancer. I've met some incredibly inspirational women. But I wanted to take the things that I learned as a hairdresser standing behind the chair and the things that I've learned working with these women in the midst of their cancer journey and bring you today my top 10 beauty tips for women battling cancer. But you know what? Anybody can use these and add them in to their beauty regimen. When I started, we wrote a book called I Promise to Put My Lipstick On When I Get There. And it was a how-to guide for women battling cancer. Think about a what to expect when you're expecting. But for a woman battling cancer, somebody who's just getting diagnosed and has no idea what the next steps would be. And I remember when I was writing this book and I was talking to my late husband about it, and I was telling him, you know, this is so silly that I'm writing all of this down because this is common sense. Everybody would know this information. Everybody will know what I'm talking about. Everybody will know what's going on. And my late husband reminded me that, no, not everybody would know. It's commonplace for me because I stood behind the chair and I formulated color and I could look at your face shape and tell you the best haircut for your face shape, or could look at your eyes and tell you what the best color would be on your hair that would complement everything about you, your skin tone and your eyes. But not everybody would know that. So I was very excited to be able to take what I learned in the salon and be able to transform it into helping women battling cancer, because I think that that's one of the things that when women are diagnosed with cancer, they want to know how their looks are going to change. What's going to happen to me now? Will I lose my hair? You know, am I going to lose my fingernails? How will all of my beauty stuff be affected? And that's the one thing that we hear more than anything. And let's be honest, when you're a woman, cancer steals everything that makes us feel girly. It can take your eyebrows. It can take your eyelashes. It can take your nose hair, so your nose runs all the time. And if it's breast cancer, it can even take your breasts. And what we really try to do as Hello Gorgeous is to return the beauty. We restore the beauty that cancer steals. So we want to make sure that all of the beauty hints and tips that we provide you, they're actionable, that you can start doing right now, that will give you a glimpse into the beauty that you already have, but enhance the beauty that you want to have as well. So let's start and let's go over the top 10 beauty tips for any woman battling cancer. So my first tip is massaging an oil into your cuticles nightly will help your nails grow. Cancer treatment can affect many things. It can affect your hair, your skin, and even your nails. But keeping your cuticles healthy is important. Massaging cuticle oil into your cuticles nightly will keep them from becoming dry, prevent cracking and hangnails, which can be an invitation for bacteria. So you want to make sure that you always keep an oil on your cuticles. You want to apply a small amount of cuticle oil to each of your cuticles using a circular motion. Massage the oil into the cuticle of each nail to the count of 10. This will also stimulate the growth of your nails. Massaging the cuticle encourages growth of the nail. Using an oil at night is best because your body most readily absorbs the molecular structure of the oil overnight, so your benefits will be much greater. And if you need a substitute for oil, if you can't get out to get a cuticle oil right now, you can even use olive oil if you have some in your kitchen. Number 2, wash your hair, even if you have no hair. It's important to take care of your scalp regardless of whether you have any hair or not. Shampoo your scalp daily or as often as you would have shampooed your hair with a shampoo that is recommended by your stylist from your salon. It is important to choose a shampoo that is removing any buildup on your scalp and not adding to it. Shampoo that is bought over the counter or from a drugstore may have plastics and waxes in it that will build up on your scalp. If you've used it over a long period of time, it can prevent your hair from growing back in as quickly as you'd like. Make sure that you dry your scalp thoroughly before placing your wig back on your head. And you never, ever want to sleep with your wig on. Your scalp truly needs that time to breathe. Kim's beauty tip number 3. Always use your ring finger when applying any type of product around your eyes. The skin around your eyes can be very sensitive. Did you know that your ring finger is the weakest of your fingers? This is why this finger should be used when applying eye cream or concealer. Also, your movement when applying these products should always move towards your nose, not pulling away from your nose. That can cause more crow's feet, but if you move towards your nose, then you're moving the way that the skin moves, not against it. Moving away from your nose can cause excess pull on that sensitive skin area around your eyes and in turn encourage or increase fine lines. When you are dispensing any product from its container, avoid using your finger. Use something disposable, such as a cotton swab or a disposable applicator. Be sure to use a fresh applicator each time that you remove the product from the jar, and this will prevent contaminating any of the remaining product inside the jar. So think of this. If you've got a jar of product, skin cream, overnight cream, whatever it would be, and you stick your finger in your jar to dispense that product, and then you put the lid on that jar, you've trapped any germs or any bacteria that may be on your fingers inside that jar. So you want to make sure that you don't want that. Think about if you do that time and time again, how much bacteria would be inside that jar. And again, if you're battling cancer, you really have to be mindful of the fact that you have a compromised immune system. So you want to use something, a small popsicle stick, an orange wood stick, a cotton swab, anything to dip into that jar and then place that on your face. Now, once that cotton swab touches your face, you need a fresh cotton swab or the other end of a cotton swab to go back into the jar to dispense more product. So all these little things, we're working towards keeping you healthy towards your cancer treatment or during your cancer treatment. Number 4, use the dot method when you apply your facial foundation or your mouth moisturizer. Applying your foundation and moisturizer evenly can be a challenge, but I found that the dot method helps to solve this challenge. The dot method is easy to use. Apply a dot of moisturizer or foundation to the following places on your face: your forehead, your nose, your chin, and a dot on each cheek. Then, using your fingers or a makeup sponge, blend in the dots. This prevents having all of the product collecting in one area of your face. Using this method for your foundation or your moisturizer, it will also appear more evenly as you're applying it or when you go to put your makeup on. All of that will be more even because of the way that you applied that using that dot method. If hair loss has been a side effect of your cancer treatment, remember to also apply moisturizer to your scalp to prevent dryness and itching. I know a lot of times that when you don't realize it, if you're under a wig or even if you've got a scarf or some sort of a turban that you're wearing, your scalp can be very dry and itchy. So twofold, right? If you've got moisturizer on it, then it prevents it from being dry and itchy. But also if it's itchy and scratching, you want to prevent anything from having an opening, some sort of a scab, any place that would invite bacteria in. So by keeping that nice and moist and not having that itchiness on there, then you wouldn't have a problem with scabbing or creating an open area that would be a breeding ground for bacteria. So always remember to moisturize your scalp as well as your face. 5, the best time to push back your cuticles on your fingernails is right after a shower or a bath. So think about that. Think about when you get out of the shower, right? Your nails are dry. Your fingers may even be a little bit pruny. But the biggest thing is those cuticles are nice and pliable at that point in time. If you push back your cuticles when they're dry, you can actually prevent a little bit of a tearing. If you push them back when they're dry, you can encourage a tear or even a rip. But when you push them back right after they're wet, they're more flexible and so therefore easily to move back off of your nail. So right after a shower or a bath, the cuticles around your nails are flexible. This is the best time to push them back. You want to use a towel wrapped around the nail of your thumb. Gently push back the cuticle using very little pressure. This will easily remove any skin that may have grown on your nail and on your nail bed. And you want to repeat this on all 10 of your fingernails. I recommend not cutting your cuticles during this time. If you are actively going through treatment, a nick or a cut and can be an open invitation, just like we were talking about for an infection, which would halt or maybe even stop your treatment or pause your treatment for any point in time if you got an infection. So we want to make sure that we don't offer, we don't want to invite any infection in. So we want to make sure that you have it. We don't want to cut your nails or cut your cuticles that would be an invitation for bacteria or fungus to get in there. Number 6, if nail polish is applied correctly, your nail polish should last you 7 to 10 days. Most fingernail polish remover has a fair amount of alcohol in it, which can be very drying to your nails. Use a non-acetone fingernail polish remover, which has the least amount of alcohol and will be less drying. The less frequent that you remove your fingernail polish, the better it is for your nails. Making your fingernail polish last will help the frequent polish removals. When applying your fingernail polish, I suggest that you use 1 coat of base coat, 2 coats of your favorite nail polish color, and then 1 coat of top coat. Every other day, apply an additional coat of top coat. 5 days after your initial application, apply an additional coat of your favorite color and then an additional coat of your top coat. This will protect your nails. The less that you have to use polish remover, the better it is for your fingernails. After 7 to 10 days, remove the polish and start over again. Now, if you are not a fan of pigmented fingernail polish, I would encourage you to use even just a clear polish. The clear polish can protect your nails, lock in moisture, and keep them from becoming dry. If you're not a fan of shiny nail polish, there are also clear polishes that dry matte, which means that there's no shine to them at all. People that work in offices and work with a lot of paper, you don't realize this, but if you don't have any polish on your nails, that paper can actually absorb and take that moisture out of your nails. So if you're not wearing polish and you notice that your nails are dry and they're flaky and they're peeling and they crack, that could very well be why, especially if you're working for paper, that can actually take that moisture out. So try it for a while and see if putting a clear nail polish on top of that nail will help you, and see if that doesn't help the peeling and the chipping and the cracking. So number 7, this is one of my favorite rules. A short nail that's manicured looks much better than a short nail that's not manicured. Now think about that. How many times has someone suggested that you go get a manicure done and that's what your excuse is? Oh, my nails are too short. Oh, I don't need a manicure. That's not true. Everybody, a short nail that's manicured, just think about it. Having the cuticles pushed back, having them filed so that they all look even, having the polish put on so that it's not all over your cuticle bed. I'm telling you that a short nail that's manicured looks much better than a short nail that's not manicured. Did you know that the first thing that a person looks at are your eyes, and the second thing that they look at are your hands? Think about that. Did you ever think about the first thing that a person looks at is your eyes, the second thing they look at is your hands? If you were to look at your hands right now, what would they see? Would you see your rings? Would you see your nail polish half on and half off? My mom always said that don't make people guess whether you're putting your nail polish on or if you're taking it off. It either is all on and it's covered all 10 of your nails, or it's all off. It's not chipping and cracking and peeling. If you look at someone and you look at their hands right now, what would you see? Would they see a beautifully polished fingernail on your hands, or would they raise questions? I hear the statement all the time, as I said, my nail is too short to have a manicure. But you would be surprised at how much better your nails would look if the cuticles would push back and the nails were uniformly filed and a fresh coat of polish, either clear or color, were put on your nails. Now, I have to share a quick story with you. So years ago, I had a friend that was overweight, and she tried every diet on the market. She had any diet that you can think of. She had tried it, and unfortunately was not successful with any of them, because she kept going back over and over and over again to continue to try the diets. And at one point in time, she finally gave up, and she said, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done with diets. I'm just going to resolve myself to the fact that I'm meant to be this weight. Now, I will tell you that she was kind of as wide as she was tall. But the one thing that she said to me that made me laugh was, she said, I decided that instead of spending money on diets, I'm spending money on my fingernails. And I looked at her and I kind of smiled, because being a hairdresser, I'm all about anything that you can do for yourself that's beauty. But her reasoning was that women that are heavy look much better if they have long fingernails. And all I could do was smile. And I thought, well, I agree that I feel better when my nails are painted. How would you feel all the time if you looked down and your nails were painted and they were shiny? And even if you don't go out and get a manicure, what if you were just able to give yourself a manicure? We've got a place on our YouTube channel where I actually, during the COVID hunker down, when people couldn't go get their nails done, I do a step-by-step guide on how to give yourself a manicure. So it's not about spending money. It's just taking a little time and performing a manicure on yourself. So make sure you go to our YouTube channel and check that out. Kim's beauty tip number 8. When trying to grow your hair into a new style, do not grow it out all at the same time. About 14 days after your last chemotherapy appointment, your hair will start to grow back. Now, you may not notice any growth right away, as your hair only grows a ½ inch a month. So to see 2 inches of hair, it may take about 6 months. But be encouraged that it is growing. You may ask yourself, when is it time for a haircut? The answer to that question is when you can place the palm of your hand on the top of your head and you're able to pinch enough hair between your pointer and your middle finger, it's time to get a haircut. So do that right now. If you place your hand on the top of your head and you're able to pinch the hair between those 2 fingers, if there's enough hair to pinch, it's time to get a haircut. I pride myself on the fact that while I was a hairdresser behind the chair, anytime a client was in the process of growing out their hair into a new style, it never looked as if they were growing their hair out. Their hair always had a style to it, even succeeding with length, a good transition to the next, until it was desired longer style achieved. So what I would do is, one haircut, I would cut the length. And then the next haircut, I would cut the layers. And then the time after that, I would cut the length. So every other haircut, they were coming in regularly for a haircut. We weren't just cutting the same hair every time. So because we were cutting something different, it maintained the style or transitioned into a newer style, but it always had some sort of a shape to it. And because we were able to do their haircuts that way, one haircut cutting the length and one haircut cutting their layers, it was easier for them to see that they were getting some growth and that they were less likely to give up and cut it off. So decide what you want to grow off first, right? So decide if you want to grow the length or if you want to grow the layers. So if you go into your hairdresser and say, I want to grow your hair out, what does that mean? Do you have bangs and you want to grow your bangs out, but you want to keep the rest of the length where it is? Is it that you've got a lot of layers in your hair and you want to try your hair more one length? Is it that you've got a lot of layers and you want to keep the layers, but your hair is at your chin right now and you'd really like it down past your shoulders? So when you go in and you're talking to your stylist, whether you're beginning treatment or you're out of treatment, or this is your goal when you're all done with treatment, make sure that you have a clear cut, that don't go in and just say, I want to grow my hair out. Let them know this is my ultimate goal. And Pinterest is wonderful. They've got some wonderful pictures. And if I encourage you that if you can take a picture into your stylist, that's really helpful too. So I would recommend getting your hair trimmed every 4 to 6 weeks, even though you're in the growing out process. You'll be happier with your hair throughout the entire journey of growing it out, and you'll have a higher success rate with your longer style by using this method. So don't stop getting a haircut just because you want to grow it out. Kim's tip number 9, the balder the head, the bigger the earrings. One of the things that we hear very often from women that have received makeovers through our program is that they don't feel very girly. And I understand that cancer can steal everything that makes us feel like a woman, including and not limited to our hair. I have learned that we have no control over those things, but we can and not worry about things that we can't worry about. In many cases, hair loss is a side effect of cancer treatment. So if that happens, how are you going to conquer that? I would say that the balder the head, the bigger the earrings. My mom taught me from the time that I was young that you are not fully dressed without your earrings. Now, more than ever, is the time for you to show off your earrings. Find some sass and find some big fun earrings. Kim's tip number 10. Your present mascara should be replaced every 3 months. Mascara is commonly used to enhance the eyes by darkening the lashes. They can darken, they can thicken, they can lengthen, and they ultimately define your lashes. But there are several types of mascaras on the market. Decide what you want your lashes to do and then choose a mascara that by its merits. When removing the mascara wand from the tube, rotate the wand in the tube to ensure that the product is on the wand. Never pump the wand in and out of the mascara tube. This may result in a higher chance of contamination of bacteria in the tube. Regardless of which mascara you choose, it's important to exchange your mascara for a new tube every 3 months. Bacteria can build up on the brush and the tube and can lead to an eye infection. So again, when was the last time that you double checked, and when was the last time you changed your mascara? If it's been longer than 3 months, I want to encourage you to go out and buy new mascara. So we are almost out of time for this episode, but I hope this information was really helpful for you. And if you know someone that can use this information, please, I ask you to share this podcast with them so that they too can enjoy the benefits of my top 10 hits. But I also wanted to share with you a few resources. As I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, I wrote a book. I promise to put my lipstick on when I get there. The Red Carpet Guide to Staying Gorgeous Through Your Cancer Treatment. You know, again, when I found out I was pregnant, I purchased the What to Expect When You're Expecting because I'd never had a child before, and I didn't know what to expect. As many women go through cancer treatment, they don't know what to expect either. Many of them have never had cancer before. So this book gives hints and tips. It's sort of a guide for any woman that's been diagnosed with cancer, that you don't know how your treatment will affect your appearance, but this book will guide you through that, from hair loss to hair substitution to makeup, nails, and more. Our book is available on Amazon and on our website. You can purchase a soft cover version, or if you want the book right now, we actually have a digital version that you can download right now. I also understand chemo brain, and that sometimes it's difficult to understand what you read, or that you lose focus very easily. And for that reason, I created an online course, which is an expanded version on all of these topics. Again, I understand that as women, we want to feel beautiful. We want to feel gorgeous, but maybe we don't know how. I've said for a long time, you know, it's the doctor's job to cure your cancer, but it's my job to make sure that you look really good while you're going through cancer. And that's what I want to do. So we have the book as a guide, but we also have an online course called Restoring Your Beauty During Cancer. And for a limited time, we are taking $20 off the course. And so instead of the $47 price, it's only $27. It's a 5-module course that goes through skincare, makeup, hair care, scalp care. It talks about a wig. How do you put a wig on? What's the right way to wash your wig? What's the right way to store your wig once you've got it? So if you use the coupon code COVID20 off coupon. That's all one word. You'll receive $20 off our regular price, and you'll receive the course for $27 of Restoring Your Beauty During Cancer. So check out our website at www.hellogorgeous.org. And if you go to the media section, you'll find it under there. Also, look under our free resources section, because we have a ton of free resources, as well as this podcast that's underneath it there, that can help guide you through your cancer journey. If any questions or any comments, or would like more information about the Hello Gorgeous or about our show, please email me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and download our mobile app. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed Kim's top 10 beauty tips for women battling cancer. This is Hello Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and until next time, stay gorgeous.
Another beautiful day, walking in the sunshine, spending the time with you. Last night we had a good time, dancing in the moonlight and loving the night away. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like without you. I can't imagine that.